Hello, Cameron. I hope this is recording. I feel like it isn't recording, but I'm gonna go through with it anyway. This is Reus. He asked me to do a 30-minute playthrough, so that's what I'm gonna do. This is the menu screen. You have different time limits, 120, 60, and 30, which is what I'm gonna do. So the purpose of this game is to, create your little village, and
Reus is used once every conversation.
Brant's here. He's also interrupting my commentary.
Well, I was just saying.
But I'm gonna delete this. I'm gonna delete this stuff after, anyways. This is Reus. These are your giants. Got mountain giant, ocean giant, swamp giant.
Stupidest one is
You shut the door, please. Tree giant. And the first thing you need to do for most of the biomes is create an ocean with water. And that's what this guy does. This is the world. I kind of like how they did it. It's like a 2D world kind of thing. You can spin it around. He's going to create an ocean. Bangs out an ocean. And, I guess the whole, and then that makes this wasteland wet. I guess the whole, what they're trying to do there is, the water cycle, rain, and it makes this wet, and this and that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make all the 3 biomes, just going to show you how the game is played. Create a forest there. Create a swamp here, and then way, and then like right here, I'm going to raise a mountain. No, it isn't. I promise.
What? So it doesn't cross over?
No. It just creates a desert on one side if this side's wet.
Oh.
Anyway, Cameron, this is a swamp. This is a forest. And the forest is based primarily on food. This is primarily on tech, and the desert is primarily on wealth. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start off with this forest first. Make a fruit plant. Now, nomads of humans walk around the earth, and once you create something that they can live off, like food, these little blueberry bushes. Little blueberry bushes. See this guy? They found a little town. This little tree, little bonsai, Mr. Miyagi tree, and they just sit there. So these are blueberries, and then after this town is founded, usually what they do is they start a granary. Now the granary has 2 things: an objective for building, and a specialization, which usually helps you build it. So it says animal husbandry plus 15 food for each animal within borders, stacks up to 3 times. So this is good. What we can do is we go to the ocean giant. The ocean giant makes animals for some reason, and he also boosts plants for some reason. I don't really understand it, but what we can do is if we put some domestic animals right here, it's gonna slowly. Okay. See? He made the thingy. Now, I'm gonna explain this. So the difference between these little icons, this shows how much food is on the patch. These are called patches, these little sections. There's 4 here, 9 here, and 4 here. And the chickens are here. Animals have like a little area of food or wealth or whatever they produce. They have like a little area of it. Plants just have one little. They take up one little patch, but they have more of it than animals. The animals are kind of spread out because they kind of move around and flock. But anyway, this naturally produces 5. Now, this would normally produce 1, but it gets +3 food if a blueberry's within here. And we have enough food because this gets +15 food for each animal. So,
Ooh, I have a question.
yes, what is your question?
If they have
Now this
like,
thing's done. Yes, what's your question?
if like you have 36 food and they're using 36 food, does they use more than 36 food, or they can only use 36 food?
Okay, what Brant was saying is, what's the difference between this number and this number? This number is the amount of food in use, and this number is the amount of food total, available, amount of food available, total used. The higher this is, the faster this fills up, but this will eventually get to be equal, unless you keep adding things or taking away, and then this number goes away, and this number could be higher, which adds to greed. This little red face is greed. If you have too much of this, if there's like 20 more of this than there is of this, then it gets greed. And if there's more of this than this, no. And if there's more of this than this number, then it adds to greed. And if there's like, halfway greed or greed, they'll go to war with another village. Because that only makes sense, right? Because they're greedy.
Makes sense to me.
It doesn't make any sense to me either. So, these are plants. This is peppermint. Symbiosis is tech roots. Oil roots. +7 tech for each mineral next to it. So if we put a mineral next to it, from this guy, from the rock giant, it'll get +8 tech. This is +15. Okay. For each mineral within borders, -10 all, apparently. Child labor. Okay. Well, what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a precious minerals, which provide wealth, but we need food also. So what we're gonna do is notice this thing, tomato, transmutes to a lesser growth aspect. Now I know this provides food, and it would probably provide enough food. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here, and we're going to do a growth aspect. Now, obviously this gets +8 tech, so it has more than it had before. This just has the wealth on it. It gets +10 wealth on the next animal nest, but we don't, obviously have that option. Right now we got 29 tech. Getting a little greedy. 1's not a big deal. 2's not a big deal. It'll warn you when there's 3 or more. But now we just need food. So we gave this thing, it gave it food, but boom, now we've got 10 food. Now we need more than that, but we've still got enough tech. We've still got enough wealth. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna make some domestic animals. Why not? I'm gonna put them over here.